It's your boy Big Baby, and I'm back for another video, man. Hey, man, we got another documentary. It says his NFL career was ended by a mascot. What happened to Adrain McPherson? Hey, man, before we get into this video, man, make sure I like, comment, and subscribe, and join the YSN gang. If you ain't YSN gang, you lame. Hey, man, make sure I like the video too, bro. But my question is, how does nigga get hit or tackled by a mascot, for one, and for two, how did you get injured, bro? We finna check it out. Let's go.
NFL fans look forward to the preseason after being starved for NFL action for the entire offseason. But as the preseason kind of drags along, you kind of just want it to be over so that real football can start. But for late round draft picks, the opportunity presented in the preseason can fly by. Every rep counts, and in one of the most violent sports, one injury for these players can mean a massive and sudden career change. In the NFL, career-altering injuries can happen at any time. Maybe they decide to hold the Pro Bowl game in the sand. Maybe the team doctor uses really long needles. Or maybe a raccoon mascot driving a golf cart at halftime of a preseason game casually decides to slam into your knee. Today's video is the second of a two-part series about one of the best high school players in Florida history. In the first part of the series, we discuss how Adrain fell from grace during his college days after being accused of betting on games that he played in. Banned by the NCAA, he joined an Arena League team and played well enough to sneak his way into the NFL.
When I went to Florida State, I learned a lot. I matured as a man.
That's the microwave version of what happened in part 1. If you want to check it out, there's a card popping up on the screen right now. If you click that, it'll pause the video. You can go over and watch the other one. Come back when you're done. Now, at the end of the first video, Adrain makes it into the NFL, finally achieving the very thing he'd been chasing. But today in part 2, we're gonna discuss why that was literally just the beginning. I talk about this often, but some people are basically just paralyzed. They never go after anything because they're scared they're not gonna reach their destination.
Hey, man, chase your dreams at all times. If you don't chase nothing but a bag and a dream, you're gonna accomplish something. Word of the day.
But anybody who's actually ever taken one of these trips can tell you, it was never about the destination. It was about the journey this whole time. But when that journey leads you down a back road into the NFL, you never know what obstacles you may run into. Or better yet, which ones may run into you.
Man, that's so crazy. It was a tight.
This is what happened to Adrain McPherson part 2. Without further ado, y'all already know what time it is, fellas. Cue the Wayne.
Yeah.
Never no quitter, cause I'ma go get her.
Yeah.
Alright, man, before we jump in,
I'm sorry, my guy. I'm sorry. Yeah, it keeps your motherfucking scalp wet and dry. I don't know. My nigga. Right here. Right there. Nigga, what the hell?
former high school phenom Adrain McPherson was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in the 2005 NFL Draft. But the 5th round pick hadn't arrived on the red carpet. Many had assumed he would based off his pedigree. He'd fallen from grace, but he'd made amends and was trying to salvage his football career. So it's his second NFL preseason and Adrain's pretty low on the depth chart. No longer a rookie, he needed to play well so that he can move up and avoid being cut. So it's 2006, NFL preseason, Saints versus Titans, halftime, just before the second half is getting ready to start. Now T-Rag is the Tennessee Titans mascot. Dude's been around since 1999, and this raccoon did everything from ziplining from the top of the stadium to, whatever the hell this is. Yeah, this is the type of stuff we expect from sports.
We don't expect that from sports, man. What?
Raccoon did everything from ziplining from the top of the stadium to, whatever the hell this is. Yeah, this is the type of stuff we expect from sports mascots. These larger-than-life Muppet-inspired characters popped up in their modern form in the 60s. And even going back to the whole gambling theme I was kind of using in part 1, the word mascot itself comes from a French word that means lucky charm. But as we know, one man's big break can be another man's downfall. So during halftime of that 2006 preseason game, T-Rack was doing his thing, pushing a golf cart through the stadium, hyping up the crowd, just basically doing his job. Now when we think of the preseason, we understand that NFL teams need to kind of tune themselves up and work out the kinks in the preseason. That's what it's for. But I know personally, I don't always consider the fact that the announcers and the referees and yeah, even the mascots are also in preseason. So I don't know if he was shooting a t-shirt cannon into the stands at the same time or what, but T-Rack is pushing his whip and he doesn't see Adrain. Adrain's sitting there warming up and he doesn't see T-Rack. Then boom, in an instant, the two sides collide. T-Rack is fine, doesn't miss a single stunt. But Adrain actually had a somewhat serious knee injury. Now the injury was reported as a deep knee bruise, also known as a contusion.
Jeez.
And I know what you're thinking. Come on, Flim, bro, a knee bruise? That ain't season ending and it damn sure ain't career ending unless that second half of football was literally your last opportunity. Like I said at the beginning, bottom of the roster guys have a lot on the line in the preseason. It only takes one injury, no matter how random, to end it all. Here's what Saints head coach Sean Payton had to say about the situation. He got run over by the mascot. I don't know what to do. We gotta play the Titans. The mascots and all the other stuff going on, it's crazy. Adrain had worked extremely hard that summer. He was excited to show what he could do in hopes of sticking around in the Saints roster. And to be taken out by the mascot, bro, that's that hurt. Adrain was unable to play in the next couple preseason games and was indeed cut by the Saints before the start of the regular season. He was once destined.
That's so fucked up. Fuck you, the mascot for the Titans, man. You done fucked up another black man's life. Damn! Damn!
For NFL glory, but he never got that big NFL contract. But based off what happened to him, he figured he might still be able to get a portion of it. After the mascot incident, Adrain sued the Titans for $20 million. Now it's easy to speculate that filing a lawsuit against an NFL team while trying to make the roster of a different NFL team, something like that might trip you up on your way to the final 53. Well, we do have to consider the fact that Adrain didn't exactly go crazy during his limited opportunities, and with this only the second of 4 preseason games at the time,
I just realized what the hell this picture was. This nigga's not even under the center. Nah, bro, you was already on dope, bro. That's what my speculation is. You was already on dope. You was strung out during the game, and your ass ain't even supposed to be on the field. Why ain't nobody else get hit? Why are you under the right tackle instead of the center? You gotta be on dope, bro. I ain't even gonna lie to you, cause you on dope. It's alright.
Injury is such a big deal because it wiped out 75% of Adrain's opportunity. So what's up with the lawsuit? Did Adrain ever get the $20 million he sued for? Well, the only information I could find on the case says it's still unresolved, with the most recent mention of it being in 2012. There's a chance the situation was settled out of court, and even if it was only a fraction of the number he was looking for, if Adrain came out of this with something, that could have been a nice nest egg. But there's also the possibility that Adrain walked away with nothing. And if that's the case, that's insanely messed up. Either the Titans or the NFL was liable for this incident. He was injured by an employee of another NFL team. And while some people felt $20 million was ridiculous, I refuse to believe that he shouldn't get something for that. Now this right here could have been a pretty sad ending, but my dude said he wasn't done yet.
Adrain McPherson has really impressed his teammates, and everybody has extreme confidence, including his head football coach, Mark Trestman.
For the next decade, Adrain McPherson strapped up year after year. From the CFL to the Arena League, every year without fail, Adrain found himself quarterbacking somebody's team, whether starting himself and breaking rushing records in the Arena League, or serving as the backup for CFL Hall of Famer Anthony Calvillo, and winning 2 Grey Cups in the process. That's the CFL Championship. He stumbled mightily out the gates, but as time passed by, slowly but surely, dude got his footing. From a statistical standpoint, his best year came in 2013 while playing for the Tampa Bay Storm. He was back to arena ball where this version of Adrain was pretty much born. That season at 30 years old, pretty much the prime of your career for a quarterback, dude goes for 3,100 yards through the air with 59 passing touchdowns and only 5 interceptions. He rushed for an additional 400 yards on the ground and set a new league record with 31 rushing touchdowns. And just like that, he was back to setting Arena League records like he'd done as a 20-year-old kid with his back against the wall. And he may not have realized it at the time, but in a weird way, Adrain McPherson was home.
Maybe this was his turning point. Maybe this is his on the rise up, back to him getting to the bag. Hopefully it don't end wrong.
During that 2013 season we just discussed, Adrain McPherson scored 90 touchdowns in the season. But as it always seemed to happen with Adrain, he caught a tough break and was injured right towards the end of that season, pretty much killing his momentum. He still didn't call it quits officially for 5 more years. And a guy who was run over by a Mascot in 2006 and never played a regular season snap in the NFL didn't effectively retire from professional football until 2018. He was a high school phenom with Arena League records and CFL championships. He's got one of the most unique NFL and college football stories you'll ever hear. Bring up any level of football, and this man got something to say that will be interesting in whatever context. The journey of Adrain McPherson is officially unlike any other. Today, Adrain McPherson is 38 years old and a guy who...
That nigga just look like a damn marker. That nigga dark as hell. He smoke blacks.
Who grew up loving basketball, didn't retire from football until 3 years ago when he was 35. And today he's still involved in the game, working hard to develop young quarterbacks, giving them early access and knowledge on professional QB techniques and skills. And during all of that, I'm sure he also finds the right moments to impart some of his very hard-earned wisdom that he's picked up both on and off the field. He's seen it all, been through it all, and he came out on the other side with one hell of a story to tell. We all set goals in life, talking about what we want to do and who we want to become. And as much as I hate to admit it, oftentimes we fall short. We miss the mark. The way I see it, and this is something that has helped me a lot with so-called failure, the big goals we set aren't this mandatory thing that we have to accomplish exactly the way we dreamt it up. That's not really their function. When you think about it, they really just act as a stimulus. Fuel, gasoline, something to just get you moving in a direction. You might not reach the exact destination you was headed to. What's the saying? Aim for the moon, and if you miss, you still land amongst the stars. Same energy. And there ain't no GM, no team owner, no store manager who could ever dictate your success or lack thereof. That part is on you. We don't always get what we aim for in life. But if you stay focused on the journey and keep your head on the swivel for opportunities, you may not reach the destination that you wanted, but you will find exactly what it is that you really need.
When I went to Florida State, I learned a lot. I matured as a man, and I'm glad things happened the way they happened because I'm a different person now.
Damn, man. You look like Mr. Harshaw or some shit. Yeah, man, that's it for Adrain McPherson, man. I guess he had a good career. Shit, he ain't really do nothing in the NFL, but he did something in the CFL and the Arena League. So shout out to my boy Adrain McPherson, man. Make sure y'all like